This is the BMW 3 Series GT. What the heck is a GT? Well, you take the 328 and the 335, you elongate it, make it into a hatchback, and that's what you have here. The 3 Series in China has a long wheelbase. A lot of people don't realize that in China, a longer wheelbase car means status, and often the owner rides in the back and is chauffeured to their factory, what have you. So they already had the 3 Series long wheelbase for the Chinese market. They took it, they made the roof a little bit higher, raised the seating position a little, turned it into a hatchback, and voila, you have yet another niche car from BMW. As I mentioned, it's sold as a 328 GT, and this is the 335 GT. This one doesn't look quite right because it has the smaller wheels on it. These aren't the wheels that come with the car. BMW has equipped this car with winter tires and wheels, but here we are in spring. This car should have beautiful 19-inch wheels, and it really does make it look a lot better. At first, I thought this car was kind of awkward. Kind of the humpback, much like the Panamera. But you know what? The longer I've had it, and I've had it almost 2 weeks, I really do enjoy this vehicle. Now, if you're somebody that likes a 3 Series sedan for handling, and if you also want the usefulness of, say, the X3 for moving cargo and people around, this might be the middle ground. But it's not cheap. The 328 GT starts at around $48,000, and this one, $56 grand. The one thing I should mention about this particular car is there was a really bad rattle behind the dash, right where the vent is on the left-hand side here. Maybe one of the little fins is rattling, but that is annoying. Don't take that as a quality issue for BMW. There's small things that happen with new cars once in a while. Now, the 328 GT and the 335 GT have the same powertrains as their sedan counterparts. So the 2-liter turbocharged direct injection in the 328 has 241 horsepower, and this car has the inline 6-cylinder direct injection twin scroll turbo with 300 horsepower and 300 foot-pounds of torque. Now, don't discard that 4-cylinder turbo. It's a great power plant. It's a lot of fun to drive. It makes a slightly different sound than this vehicle, and that's one of the things you want to consider. If you've had a BMW with inline 6, kind of used to that sound. If you've never had a BMW before, try the 4-cylinder. It's cheaper, it's better on fuel, and does a very good job. But if it was me, my money, what I want, I'd like the bigger 300 horsepower engine. In addition, there are adaptive settings here on the dashboard. You can put it in Sport, which is what I tend to use. There's Sport Plus, which turns off the stability and traction control. One other thing about this car is it comes standard with all-wheel drive, where the 3 Series sedan you can get with rear wheel or all-wheel drive. So this really is kind of like an SUV hybrid kind of vehicle. Not hybrid in the sense that it's electrified, but it's sort of halfway between a crossover SUV and a car. Now, you sit up a little bit taller, you get the higher roof line, so there is going to be a slight compromise in handling characteristics compared to the sedan. Then when you add in the fact that it's got a longer wheelbase, it's not going to have the same dynamics as the sedan, but it's pretty damn good, to be honest with you. It feels planted on the road. It definitely is a beautiful car on the highway. And you know what? I'd be willing to live with the compromise to keep my wife happy and to keep the kids happy in the back seat. It really is a nice combination of all the things you want in a vehicle. Sedan, performance, handling. It's not bad looking, space on the inside, utility, and all-wheel drive. It's got all of that. Now, how much did they elongate the wheelbase of this 3 Series? By 10 centimeters. That's 4 inches, and it's all in the back seat. And you know what? My kids were in this car for several days, and they loved the extra legroom. Even for an adult, I've got the seat in the front here set for my driving position. When you sit in the back, there's tons of extra legroom. The seats are pretty good. You sit up a little bit higher than you would in a regular 3 Series. Got a higher roof line. It's very similar in a way to the Panamera and what they did with that vehicle. But you know what? This is the main difference of this car. So for people who are looking for a traditional SUV, this car offers a lot more room, especially when you look at the cargo area. It's very long and it's wide, and of course the seats fold down, but you can get a lot of stuff in there. The downside is you don't get the height. Usually an SUV, it's got a square back. This one's got the rake, sort of sport back look. So taller objects would be an issue, but for most people carrying around regular stuff like groceries and hockey equipment, things like that, is going to fit in here no problem. This is an upscale car. The front is really fantastic, the same as the regular 3 Series and the 4 Series. I encourage you to go and watch the reviews I've done of those two vehicles, because the front is basically the same. You get the wonderful seats, you get the iDrive system, you get the great looking steering wheel, fabulous appointments and finish. Yes, it could be considered a little bit sort of basic compared to fashion-forward cars like the new the Q50 from Infiniti or even Audi products. But you know what? This is a neat car. It offers a lot to different members of the family depending on what you want. This car appeals to maybe two masters. There might be the father in the family that likes the idea of having a 3 Series sedan for the handling, and then maybe you got mom that likes an SUV because of the practicality, get kids in it, all their cargo and everything. But the mom cannot see herself driving a touring, a wagon version. Well, this kind of mimics a wagon, kind of mimics an SUV, but splits it right down the middle. You get the best of all worlds. Styling takes a little while to get used to. Trust me, it does look better with the bigger, sportier wheels. I'm really taken to this car. I wish they could bring it at the same price as the X3, about $10,000 less, but it's a premium offering from BMW and a very niche market.